Listen, I can explain. I know as a reader, this setup is triggering. It is triggering for me to look at it every day. But there is a reason why it looks like this. And part of that is I was about to get a bunch of new books, so I didn't want to reorganize my bookshelf. And then I got a TBR cart that I never actually organized. So I wanted to wait until after I got all my books in that I was going to get and then organize it. And then I also wanted to do an organizing my bookshelf video. So that's why you're gonna have to deal with the chaos that is this setup right now. But please bear with me. So I made a fatal flaw. And if you don't know, since you're not following me on my TikTok, which you should be, I was reading a bunch of summery, fluffy romances, and then all of a sudden I was like, I think I need a murderer. I think I need dark romance. I need a dark romance man. So I quickly went back into my dark romance era and then realized that I didn't have any dark romances on my physical TBR. So then I went nuts and I started buying a bunch of books, and I was like, okay, we're gonna retry this book buying ban. What we're going to do is we're going to buy a bunch of dark romances that I've been wanting to read, and then I'm gonna buy them, and then I'm going to go on my book buying ban that's going to last all the way up until I get back from my Disney trip at the end of September. So I thought I'd just do a little haul for you guys of all the books that I've bought during my book buying ban and all the books that I bought for the book buying ban. So like, I've been buying books consistently for like the last 2 months, so I wanted to run through all of them with you. Some of them I already read, so I will just be telling you what I think about them. So this is one of the last books that I picked up before I got all of my dark romance books, but this is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron. I don't know anything about this book, but I love this cover so much. It's a really short book, and it's really outside of my comfort zone. I do not read thrillers. I am a romance girly. So like, I don't know why I was just called to have this on my bookshelf, but I really, really like the cover. I did hear a lot of good things about this. So when I'm like in my thriller era, maybe like during October, I'll like dabble in some thrillers. I can't tell you what this book is about, girl. Like, I just know that I like the cover. In this book, it follows a girl named Sophia. She is on a vengeance path for her parents that got brutally murdered in front of her. And she decides that she's going to marry the guy that murdered her parents to like, kind of like, you know, destroy him from the inside out. But then her husband hires a bodyguard, and the bodyguard happens to be the guy that she left and abandoned like 7 years prior, so she can like fulfill this plan to like marry him and like take him down. It's a really good story. I don't like that it ended really fast. Like, I feel like the ending was wrapped up a little too quick, but I can get past it because it was a fun read. I rated it like a 4.5. I love a badass female. The tension was good. I just wanted like a little bit more. Like, I just wanted a little bit more out of like the characters. It was really interesting, like seeing him try to figure out like if that's actually her or not, because he recognized her at the beginning, but then like she kind of gaslit him into like not knowing who he was. Very interesting story. So but she remembered him the whole time. But like, nonetheless, it was a really good read, really fun dark romance read. I just wish that it wasn't wrapped up so quickly. I just feel like the ending was just like a little rushed, but that's it. Now, this is another book that I got traumatized by. If you follow me on TikTok, you already know. I picked this up because I liked the cover, but I had no idea what it was about. Oof, this is a toughie. This book is very, very hard. It's rough, all right? But it's probably one of the best books that I've read all year. Basically, this girl calls her sister's fiance one night to come get her because she's like stranded at a bar. She got her wallet stolen. And then next thing you know, there's this guy that comes up and kidnaps her and the fiance and traps them in a basement. So they're there together, makes them do a lot of vile and horrible things. If you are going to read this, I cannot stress enough, please check the trigger warnings, because this one was really, really tough. It was really cute in a really, really sadistic way, but it was really, really, it's a good book. It's a really, really good book. It's a really hard book. I had to put this down, but I also finished this pretty quickly too because it is a really, really good book. I just feel like you have to be in the right headspace for this one. So just be warned. But I gave that one a 5 stars. I won't say that Book Talk lied to me. But I will say that a truth was omitted with this book. When I tell you, I read the Darkverse series and everyone was like, you have to read Sinners Anonymous. Like, if you like mafia romances, you have to read Sinners Anonymous. It's so good. Do you know what they don't tell you? The bird puns in this book are ridiculous. And they don't stop. They continue. They get worse. And then this book is also ridiculously boring. I have not finished it yet, but I promise you, out of the generosity in my heart, I will give it 2 stars. For the absolute sheer ridiculousness that is the bird puns. Like, it's one thing to have a boring book and then have bird puns in a very, very boring book. So like, the most interesting part of this book is this girl keeps making bird puns that make no sense. Like, she'll go like, oh, swan, like she swears in bird. Like, swears in bird. Like, who does that? I don't like it. So 2 stars. I didn't finish it. I actually DNF'd it. Everyone told me to like read like the last like 10 chapters. I don't know when I'm going to get to that because I was just so over this book. So like, if you want to read Sinners Anonymous, you can. But if you can get past the bird puns and that it's ridiculously boring and way too slow, I guess, but no. So this is one of those that I ordered that was a letdown. I don't know the gist of this book really to tell you anything about it. I just know that everyone says that if you like Criminal Minds, you'll really, really like this series. I think each one of the characters has like a special gift when it comes to like solving crimes. I like the covers and I heard Criminal Minds, and I don't do thrillers, but I used to watch Criminal Minds with my mom all the time. So I was like, okay, sold. So I'm gonna buddy read this with my book friend Kay. Me and her are reading a lot of books together, and this is a series that I said we should read together. So she picked up the whole series because she found it at Books A Million in Gatlinburg. But this is cute. But I can't wait to read it. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it, but I can't wait. Another book that I have never heard of that I picked up from Barnes & Noble was Belladonna. I think this is a paranormal romance. But the cover, the sprayed edges, the cover and the sprayed edges was all I needed to pick up this book, and it was half off. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. But I just really picked this up because I don't have a book that has sprayed edges, and I just really like this. So I was like, I'll read it. But I can't tell you anything beyond this being a paranormal romance. Well, I didn't see any TikToks that said that they hate it, but a lot of my mutuals said that they saw other people say they hate this book, so we'll see. And then another book that I got from Target is Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. I've only read one other Mariana Zapata book, and that is Under Lock, and I gave that like, I think a 4.5 out of 5 stars. That was the first book I read this year, and it also happened to be my first biker romance, and I really, really liked it. I know she does slow burns, so I don't know when I'm going to get to this, but I just like the cover. I know a lot of people like the old cover better, but I like this one. It's cute. I know they said it doesn't match the vibe, but I will decipher that when I get to it. I have no idea when I'm going to get to this. It looks like a football romance. I have no idea what this book is about, but I'll probably read it during football season, you know, because I like to be on trend like that. All right, now let's get to the boxes that I literally just got from Amazon yesterday that I haven't opened. And these are more of the books that these are more of the books that I'm highly anticipating and that I might get started on reading like expeditiously. No, I love Rooney X. The Darkverse series is one of my favorite series I have ever read, and The Annihilator is my favorite out of the entire series. And I love Dane so much. So I was like, you know what? Everyone says great things about Gathakana, so I was like, I will read it. I didn't have any interest in reading it before, but everyone says it's like a Wednesday vibe, and I watched a little bit of Wednesday. It's not that I didn't like the show. I don't watch a lot of TV. But I was like, you know what? You know what? I'll buy it. So I think this is gonna be one of the first reads that I do because everyone says such good things about this, and I was like, I have to read this. So I'm super excited. I, again, don't know what this is about to its entirety. I think this girl goes to like, it's giving like a goth Hogwarts. That's what the cover is giving. Like, look at this. Then I have My Dark Romeo. I love this cover. Again, don't know anything about this book, but you will quickly find out on this channel that I buy books solely based off the cover, but I really wanted like, I'm in my dark romance bag, but this has been on my Amazon wish list for about 7 months. So I was like, you know what, I might as well treat myself and finally buy it in Cave. It's actually not as long as I thought it was, but again, this cover, how was I not supposed to buy it? It's so cute. Listen, oh, is it written? It's written by 2 people. I did not know that. I don't know what this is about. I don't know. I honestly do not know what this is about. And I wish I could tell you more, but I can't because I literally don't know. But I just know that like, I like the cover. So if I had my laptop over here, I would like give you a synopsis. Let me just read the back. So this is definitely giving enemies to lovers. What's getting me is the last part of the synopsis. It says, in my story, Juliet doesn't die, but Romeo, he perishes. Ooh, that is juicy. Oh, this is short. I might read this one. Okay, so I am going to dip my toe in with Chantal Tessier. Is that how you say her name? This is ridiculously short. Oh my God, I could knock this out today. Okay, I want to read The Ritual so bad because everyone reads it, but I am terrified, okay? I am terrified of starting The Ritual. It seems so scary, and I read a lot. Like I read That Sick Love, like everyone knows Jessie Hall is my girl, but this seems like I can dip my toe in, and now that I know how short it is, I'm like, okay, I can definitely dip my toe into this. This is another enemies to lovers, but I heard crazy things about this. Like this book is crazy. I think it's like, yeah, it's like a cat and mouse dark romance. Like that's kind of all I know, and I just, every time I saw like snippets of it on TikTok, the like quotes were crazy, the scenes were crazy, so I was like, okay, I can dip my toe in with Chantal with this before I jump into The Ritual, because like not only is the cover for Ritual scary, everything I know about The Ritual just seems like very scary. So okay, so for this one, I only bought this one because I saw a snippet of the book on TikTok. This girl had made like a cute little edit of the book, but do you know what some people, some very menace people do on Book Talk is that they like to get you excited about the book and then they never give you the name of the book. So I didn't know what it was about, or I didn't know the name of the book, and then someone like, I saw it again and then someone had gave the name of the book, so I bought it. Again, I think this is really short. It's like literally less than 200 pages, and I think this was $15. That's insane. But another easy read to add to my reading goal. I'll read it anyway. I can be confused. That's one thing about me, I can be confused. Now, another book that I got, I don't know if this is dark romance. I think this is more contemporary romance, but it's Blue. It's Warrior Blue by Kelsey Kingsley. She also gave me an art called Saving Rain that I have not gotten to, but every time she posts about this book in particular, I was like, oh my God, I want to read it. So in the cover, again, it's so pretty. I have a thing for butterflies. I really like them, and I also don't know what this is. Is this a single dad? Caring for his children. I follow her on Book Talk, and she always posts snippets of her books, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, I like watching her edits of her own books. She does a really good job marketing her books. Like, that's just like the nerd brain in me. But I think this one is about like a tattoo artist who's like kind of like broken. Here's the thing about me. I love a bruised and battered man, okay? Like if you give me a grumpy, like traumatized, bruised, battered man, I'm gonna eat it up. And he's a tattoo artist, I had to buy it. So I think this is like a Grumpy Sunshine thing, I think. So I don't know what this is about either, but I just know that I like it. So I heard a lot of good things about it. I think it's rated like pretty high on Goodreads too. In the last book I got was A Dose of Pretty Poison by Kelsey Clayton. I heard this is like Pretty Little Liars with hockey players. And I was like, okay, sign me up. Sign me up. I have been, and it's like a whole series. I was going to go full throttle and buy the whole series, but I was like, maybe I should not do that. Maybe I should see if I actually like this first book before I buy the whole thing and it sits on my shelf. I'm intrigued by this because I don't know how we're going to work it, because I don't want to say it's a dark hockey romance. I really think that there's just hockey players in this, but I do not think that this is a hockey romance. Because like I feel like for hockey romance, my criteria is like it can't just have a hockey player in it. It has to be like hockey. Like Mile High is a hockey romance. There's a lot of hockey in Mile High. But like Sunny Disposition, there's just a hockey player in it. Icebreaker, there's just a hockey player in it. So I think this is just like a dark romance with hockey players in it, but I'm not so sure. I'm also doing this thing where I really want to find more books that aren't necessarily super talked about on Book Talk. Like I love me a good Book Talk rec, but like sometimes I just want to find them for myself and find books that I thoroughly enjoy by myself, because I just really feel like Book Talk recommendations can get very repetitive, and I'm trying really hard not to have like repetitive books on my page. Like I don't want people to look at my page and be like, oh my god, like she has the same book recs that like every other book talker has. So I've been trying really hard to not like only read like Book Talk recommendation books and try to find some for myself. So I try to get a good mix of books that I have heard about. I want to try to make 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I feel like I can do that. It's like what, August? I really feel like I can do that. So please, I want to like really grow this channel. I love making book content. I love to read, would love to do this full time. So please, if you want, follow me on TikTok. I will link all my socials down below. And then also, if you like my channel, please subscribe. I have a bunch of fun content planned out. So yeah, if you like the video, you know the drill. Subscribe, like the video, share it if you will. If you want to be like, hey, I found a new booktuber, you should do that.